Yo, what up guys, it's your boy Navi Drizzle, and today we're going to be talking about medals. More specifically, we're going to be talking about medal sets that I feel like brand new players or people who have just been playing for a few months should be crafting, should be focusing on. These are the most optimal medal sets for starting out. Plenty of advanced players, people who have been playing for at least like over a year or so. They have different versions of these medals. And yeah, they're just very optimal, and I feel like you should be building these. Now, to start off, we have Triple Luffy. Now, Triple Luffy can be built in different ways, but the way I'm showcasing it here is the Dressrosa one. Now, the Dressrosa one, these two medals, they both increase damage dealt by 5%, which is very nice. And I coupled it with the 2 years medal Elephant Gatling, which also increases damage by 5%, right? Now, the thing is with Triple Luffy is that as long as it's a New World unit, a New World Luffy, you can always expect to have 5 tags that they will always share, right? Straw Hat, Paramecia, Captain, Worst Generation, Blood Brothers. These tags, every New World Luffy will always share. The only one that will be affected is your skill 1 tag, which is the location. This one's Dressrosa, but this one, as you can see here, is 2 years later. So I don't get the full 20%, but I'm okay with it because I'm chilling with the nice 14%. I'm only missing out on 6%. Nothing to be too, nothing to worry about really much. Don't take a look at like what it actually benefits, because the way I have this set up is I just have these on these characters. That way I can talk about them in succession. Don't focus on the actual benefits they're giving to Marco. This metal set is not meant for Marco, but this metal set is meant for, it could be a general metal set. You could use this for runners, you could use this for attackers. Mainly you should be using it for attackers because you are increasing damage, right? At your like basic minimum, you're running around with 15% increased damage. At your most optimal, when your team is losing and you have your allies near you, you're running around with 25% increased damage, which is very nice. Very good for offensive runners, very good for attackers in general. And like I said, with this Luffy metal set, is you can customize. So let's say you don't want the increased damage, but you want the skill 2 from the King Cobra metal set. Boom, throw on King Cobra. Like I said, as long as it's a New World Luffy, you are sharing 5 tags. You were always sharing these 5 tags. The only difference is the first one. And with this one, the most optimal is obviously this event medal, but I am staying away from event medals because new players don't have this medal set is, I think, a year old now. And while this one gives me all 6, this is the most optimal medal set for Dressrosa Luffy. For new players, you're not going to be having that. It's fine, don't worry about it. It's mainly meant for runners anyway. Like, it's just 1 tag, you're not going to be missing out too much. But Triple Luffy is something everybody should be focusing on. You could run different kinds of Luffys, but the best one in my opinion is this one, at least for offensive runners and attackers. Now let's move on to the next one. Now this one is Triple Boa, which is in a very similar sense to Triple Luffy, where Triple Boa increases damage, but instead of giving you 15 to 25% damage increase, she also gives 10% to damage reduction. Right, and running with this boa, you get the little skill 1 cooldown, which is kind of nice. It helps balance out missing the skill 1 with this boa, because the thing is, we only have 2 boas that are from Sabaody Archipelago and Island of Women, so we can't have a triple full set similar to Luffy, right, until we get an event medal or another boa that's from that time period or from that island. We won't be able to be running the full tags, but we're still getting 5 tags. It's still very nice. You are getting 10% cooldown, the capture speed. These are all basic traits that you'd be wanting, and with the added benefits of you're getting that skill 1 cooldown if your allies are doing poorly, right? Your team has more treasure. Actually, when you're winning, you're actually doing a lot better. You're getting that skill 1 cooldown. You're getting the damage increase when your allies are near in the treasure area. This is a very nice metal set. It has very good tags, very good for offensive. This one's mainly what I use for my attackers, because when you're playing as an attacker, you are going to the enemy treasure area. You are attacking the defenders, right? And then when you're playing as a runner, you're doing the same thing. You're going to capture flags, right? So the flags you're going to capture, it's not your treasure area, so you're going to be benefiting from being in treasure areas and stuff like that. Very similar to the Luffy. Now let's moving on to another metal set. This one's mainly for runners. You can build this in a different way, but this is also another Dressrosa metal set. You have Dressrosa Law, which when you have more than 70% HP, you get the capture speed. And then you have the new Kid Law medal that just came out, which this also does 8% capture speed when you have more than 70% HP. So right here, you already have 16% capture speed as long as you have more than 70% HP. Very nice. And then coupled with this medal, now this medal set is very beneficial in this meta because we have characters like Olin that can charge the treasure area to 150. So it's very common to run around and see a treasure that has more than 50%. So you will be getting this, very likely, that extra 8%. So if you add this all up, you're running around with the 16% if you have full HP or at least more than 70% HP. And then when that treasure area is fully built up, or you know, Big Mom just left it or something, you're getting the extra 8. So you're running around with 24% capture speed. With a very good runner, bro, you're capturing flags very, very fast, bro. This is a very good metal set. But you could also change it to, let's say you don't want as much capture speed and you don't have this Kid Law medal. You do have the option to move a Dressrosa Luffy medal, and then you'll get that little extra increased damage when allies are not near your treasure area. You could also use the Luffy, which I think is a very similar, where it's as long as you're in the enemy treasure area or something like that, you get that little extra 5% because, like, again, you're a runner, you're going to a treasure area that's not yours, so that this little passive trait will activate and you will be capturing treasure. Another set that's very good with this one, again, is using the Lucy metal set, because every time you capture a flag, you will be healing 5%. It's very nice, but again, a lot of people don't have these event medals. We do have something similar that dropped, which was the Wano Luffy. I will be talking about Wano Luffy a little bit later, but you know, very beneficial. You should be focusing on event medals. I will be talking about what you should be doing with event medals later as well, but let's move on. Very good medal set for runners. Highly recommend, especially in this meta. Next one, we got Triple Kaido. Now, I love Triple Kaido. I think this one is contention of being the best, if not one of the best metal sets in general, like just above all else, is the Skill 1 Kaido metal set. Now this one's very good. You have original Bounty Fest Green Attacker Kaido. Every time you get hit, you get 2% cooldown on your Skill 1. Very nice. And then with the new Hybrid Kaido, every time you capture a treasure area, or just a treasure in general, you get that Skill 1 cooldown. And then this Kaido right here, you're getting increased damage around your treasure. Now you can change this, and I will be talking about, like, you can change the way I use this, and it's an event that just left. But if you're brand new, you just came for the 4.5 anniversary, you do not have this medal, and it's this King medal, because this King also does the exact same trait that this Kaido medal set does. And so instead of getting 2%, you're getting 4% every time somebody hits you. So getting 4%, you know, you have Zoro that can hit you with the 9-hit move Ashura, 36% cooldown. Jesus, that's insane cooldown speed. Obviously, you're gonna be hit. This thing is gonna be procced every single time because that's how you do damage. You get that damage reduction, but we're gonna be focusing on what's possible for new players. We're gonna be looking at the Triple Kaido. Having these 3 tags is all, like, it's, dude, this is so good, dog. Because very similar to the Boa set, you get increased damage dealt by 10%. You also get 10% damage reduction. You get the Skill 1 cooldown. And then when an area around you capture treasure. So, like, this is very good for, I mean, it's very good for Hybrid Kaido in general, right? EX Hybrid Kaido. Because as soon as you capture a flag, that flag now became yours. So now you're getting this extra 5% because you're now in your captured area. And then if you just captured that area, you're getting that 10% cooldown because you're just by yourself. You already got that Skill 1 cooldown. Very good for a runner, but I do like using this metal set, especially with the King metal set. Like, I have different variations. I have it for Charlotte family. I have it for Zoans. I have it for Animal Kingdom specifically. Very good metal set. I love this metal set. let's move on to the next one. The last one, I believe this is the last one I have. No, Wano Luffy. I will be talking about Wano Luffy. This one's the Enel metal set. Now you're looking at it like, hey yo, this is an event medal. You lied. You said there's gonna be no events. This one's different. This one is active at all times. It's been active, I believe, since it came out. But if you go to the exchange shop and you go to the cola, you go to the normal, it's right here. You can buy it. As long as you have 10 cola, you can buy, you know, 3. This is enough to build 1 medal. I'll do it just for an example. Boom, it's in my gift box. I have enough to craft it, right? Go back, characters, metal, craft metal, event, not event, I mean, here we go, craftable. And yeah, like you can, I made this whenever this doesn't have a set date. Same with these, right? This one's just basic attack increase. I mean, they're very basic medals. They're not useful. This is honestly the most useful one. Because it's 3%, bro. I swear, it feels like it's 10% sometimes. This procs, and when it does, you're just like, thank God I have this medal set, bro. Yeah, having people just shocked just because they hit you. Just because they hit you and they get shocked. You could even just throw that medal in there. Like, you don't even have to have a full, like, setup or anything. You can just throw it in there and it will do very well. But the Mantra medal set, right, the Enel medal set, this one is for defenders mainly. Because you have insane damage reduction, right? You're running around with 15% damage reduction if you have less, you know, treasure and you're in your treasure area. There's another event, Enel, that did come out. That was like an event. Let me see if I can find it here. That one is honestly the better one for damage reduction. See if I could. Yeah, it's this one. So when your allies are not near the treasure area where you are at, reduce damage received by 5%. So that's the most optimal one, but this one is still very nice. And then coupled with the first Enel, this is original Enel, like one of the first 4 stars to come out when the game launched. Skill 1 cooldown is very nice. And then this one, you get the damage reduction. But this Enel set, like I said, having that damage reduction, just being tanky, and just waiting for this 3% to hit, bro. Like when you run to characters that, like, let's say you dodge and you fail to get a perfect dodge, and then they have you in this little combo because you can't get out of it, and then they get hit by this and they get shocked and it saves you, bro. Oh, dude, there's no better feeling. I love running this with like Z. I love running it with what's another good defender? It's been a while. I'm kind of blanking on the defenders. Holy shit. Like, I did it with Mihawk, I think. Mihawk was fun. Yeah, like, let's talk about, I think this is the last medal set I have. It's Wano Luffy. Now, Wano Luffy is also another triple Luffy, alright? But he's different in the sense that, like, the only way to get this guy is for event medals. Because we've had 2 events. If we go to Worst Generation, go down. This Luffy and this one. Funny enough, we've had fucking Luffy and Zoro back to back. But what do you call it? This one is pretty much the equivalent. It's the Wano equivalent to the Lucy metal set, right? You have the 5%. If you've been playing at least for the last month, because I believe this one came out in July, like at the beginning of July, you would have this medal, and this medal set is more for you. This medal, the Red Rock medal, it's all right, but like, well, it's very good, and don't get me wrong, you're gonna do just base increase 5% extra damage to any like, this one's really good for Zoro, right? Because if Zoro has the ability to change his color to be the most advantageous one, so you would always be getting increased damage with the Zoro. But Wano Luffy, he's kind of weird in the way that, like, the 2 medals we do have is that he does increased damage to defenders in their treasure area, and then you reduce damage received in your treasure area. So there's no real, like, cohesion in the sense that the Dressrosa one, both of them are increasing damage by 5%, but this one is more so like you get damage reduction with this one. If you're running that Luffy medals that I was talking about, you're getting HP increased by 5%, and then this one is just for defenders specifically. Like, this is a good set for Kid and Law, right? But that is very specific to Kid and Law. The tags are there though. You do get 6 tags, and I was talking about 6 tags being very nice. I guess we'll just have to see what Gear 5th Luffy ends up being and what his medal brings. But right now, I just, you know, you're getting basically everything that you would get with Dressrosa Luffy. So I see no benefit in choosing this one over Dressrosa Luffy, in my opinion. But I know some people are gonna mention Triple Wano Luffy, which I just feel like we just gotta see with time. Maybe it'll be a little bit better, but I just don't. There's no like synergy, in my opinion. But that's it. These medal sets, I feel like if you're a brand new player, 100% beneficial to be making these medal sets, be focusing on them. Focus on Luffy first. You should be focusing on Luffy, and then if I could, you know, maybe branch off to focus on this runner medal set, because this one is very good. It will be in the meta for a long time. This Doflamingo set, this medal is very, very good. So yeah, like focus on those. If you're brand new, you just started, you're like, hey, I re-rolled, you saw Shanks maybe, because I know like a lot of people don't understand, you know, if you're looking for YouTube videos, chances are you've already been playing this game. But we do get new players every month. We do get new players like every day, actually. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, consider leaving a like. And I know it's pretty long, right? I am talking a lot, but I do hope that I could explain in depth why these medals are very good for you. And I will be seeing you guys later.